Welcome to the City of Florissant Podcast, where we talk anything and everything related to the beautiful City of Florissant.
Hi, I'm Mayor Tim Lowery. Welcome to another edition of the Mayor's Podcast Show. With me today is Don Kendrick, Andrew Fitzgerald, and Mark Goldstein. So, Don, why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit before we get going?
Yeah, my pleasure. I think I need to first say that my roots are in North County. I grew up in Florissant.
Awesome.
And then I spent 30 almost years away from Missouri in broadcast news as a reporter and an anchor, and now I live here again.
So this is not new to you, what we're doing here today?
No, it's not. I was wondering if you were going to have a teleprompter,
Okay.
But fortunately, I got paid to talk, so I could talk. Yeah, but especially about something like this, Mayor, that we're so passionate about, the North County reunion. Right. When I came back, all I kept thinking of, it's like pulling on a string, all the people that I was reconnecting with. So that's what we're going to talk about. But it's my pleasure to now be running a podcast that's called The Good Stuff Family with Don Kendrick. It's all good stuff stories, and there's so many of them happening. I'm sitting right next to one of my favorite good stuff stories here now from North County. And that's the short version of me.
Very good. Well, Andrew, talk about yourself and what you do.
My name is Andrew Fitzgerald, and my roots aren't from North County, but I've been here for the last 25
Could you tell?
years. My wife is originally from Florissant, went to Hazelwood Central, so I'm also the executive director of Empower North County, and one of the programs we're talking about in particular today is Empower Soccer, where we have almost 600 kids that are playing out of Coke Park this year. So this fall, so we're talking.
Doing a great job with that program, really are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark?
We talk about me. My name's Mark Goldstein. We do. My roots are in Florissant. Have been in Florissant and will always be in Florissant. I have a business here, several of them actually. My background for this sports world is soccer from day one in the North County area, so I'm familiar and really active still in that community. So that's why I'm here today, to talk to you guys about that a little bit.
Very good, Mark. Thank you guys all. I appreciate you all being here. So let's talk about the North County reunion. Back to our roots. Don, why don't you go ahead? This was your idea. This is your brainstorm.
It was. I kept feeling like this calling to do this, and I thought, what are you thinking? I don't know how you would pull something together. But here's the thing, that my mama passed away 2.5 years ago. Coming up on 2 years. And then we've been to other funerals, and I thought, it's so great to see all of these people, but for the love, could we do it without someone dying, quite honestly? We're not promoting it that way. But then, and I realized, like, there's so many connections in not just in North County, but who come and hail from North County, far reaching. And so I thought, let's just do this. So we met with you, and you were on board, and Cheryl had been so helpful in donating, letting us use the park. We're going to have live entertainment. Jesse Vaughn is going to be playing on the stage there, and food trucks. We have 10 food trucks. I could list them later if you're interested. Okay. But it's just a way to have people come back, and the very same thing that I was experiencing in meeting people, I hope that they're those little microcosms of, Mark is my new friend, again, through all of this, of meeting new friends and reconnecting with others and families, Mayor.
Right.
Bring your grandkids, your kids, your parents. We want all generations of families, and we're going to also tap into the lifeblood of Florissant soccer. We're going to talk more about that.
Absolutely.
But that key draw, I think, is going to be the 2:00 soccer game, in which Jeff Petruso is putting it together, and
nice.
We could talk more about that later.
Well, let's start. What's the day of the event? Let's talk about that. Let's start about some logistics about the whole event.
Sure. It's September 22nd, and we're going to start at noon. And I really am hoping to fill the whole church for a mass that we're having at noon. It's a Sunday.
What church?
That's going to be at Rose Philippe in Deschênes, but it's formerly St. Dismas,
right.
Is what I remember. My
correct,
friends
yes.
going to St. Dismas. That's at noon, and it's going to be a spectacular mass, really. We've got a great local singer-songwriter. Father Kevin's coming in to do the mass. And then we'll move not far from there to the J. Egan grounds of the center there from 1 to 5. We'll have that live entertainment, Jesse Vaughn. At 2:00 is the game. And then actually we're going to get to meet some of the Empower people as well. So that's the short version. I'm going to give y'all a QR code. If people want to, in the comments on this podcast, you can click right on. That's all the details to our Facebook page.
Great.
But so it's bringing the old school it's hard to talk about North County when I grew up without having soccer.
Right.
So many legendary soccer players. Mark played soccer right here, and stayed in Florissant and has a business and keeps contributing.
Right.
And so we'll have that. And then we get to talk about the new lifeblood of soccer and how Andrew and his wife have grown that program so much. So
Yeah, let's go right to that, because that really is kind of, it's not exactly what you started to be, and it's really evolved into this being this big soccer thing.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, so talk about the soccer game. What is it that you got the players yet? You're still
Yeah.
allowing people to come in and play, or how's it working?
Jeff Petruso is an iconic name in North County, and every year for 22 years on Thanksgiving, he has had a North County reunion soccer game. It's in O'Fallon. And he's bringing back, big iconic names. Steve Petcher, we could go on. And it's
Right.
like pulling a string. They all keep coming back for this. Wow. So I took my nephew this year, and he said, they're old. I said, you whippersnapper. I said, you respect your elder. And the next thing he said was, they're good. Yeah, a lot of them have played professional World Cup even. So I said, Jeff, I had all this, like I said, something I didn't know what to do with it about bringing people back together in North County. And I said, would you help? Would you partner? And it started with a 3-way phone call with you and Jeff and I.
Right.
And it's been off and running ever since. So yes, he's got people coming back. The jerseys are amazing. The commemorative keepsake jerseys, they're going to be by Sports Print, who's stepped up, Eric Eisner. All these things I never saw coming. My friend Jim Williams introduced me to you. He was from the get-go. He made the graphic. Well, actually, it came from Jeff Petruso, but everyone's it feels like something bigger than just us, Mayor.
Very good.
And I think it's going to be good stuff.
So I know you talked about food, so there's going to be plenty of food trucks.
Yep.
What about drinks and that kind of thing?
Yeah, you could bring your own coolers,
Okay.
and be sure to bring picnic blankets and chairs. You have all that great rolling grass for
Right.
the concert, so that's super important. But yeah, we'll have 10 food trucks there. Like we have Hacienda, Show Me Sushi, Fusion Ice Cream, S&S Goodies, Kona Ice, Speedway Eatery, One Dish Wonders, Soul Burgers, Mothers on Wheels, Picture Perfect Panini, and Donut Cupboard, my favorite. I've been in several cities and I've never had a donut. This is not brought to you by Donut Cupboard, but they're donating donuts that Andrew's awesome kids are going to be able to hand out to kind of meet the people who are there.
Great.
As far as we're not sure exactly. They individually have margaritas and pop and water, but we're trying as we speak to get the specific trucks that will have that. But again, feel free to bring your coolers.
Very good. So Mark, growing up in North County, and honestly, I know how important soccer was. I just was not a soccer player. But what does soccer mean to this North County community?
Soccer for me, and probably every other person that you'll run into at the event, and anyone you run into, even in any part of the St. Louis area, that's where you started. That's where you met your friends. You grew up together, which turned to CYC, and then a little bit of club after you got to be. Now it's a little different now, but after 5th grade, you start doing club soccer a little bit more, and it was more. So they, at that time it wasn't really club; it was selected. So you're playing with some quality players that you grew up in the CYC world with, and you went on to high school, and then some of the kids you didn't play with in CYC, now you're together as a high school player. Then you moved on to college, and you played with the guys in college that are in a lot of them are St. Louis soccer CYC guys. We all started at that level, and so there was so many guys out of the North County area that were in the pros, and still to this day, there's still a lot in Florissant that have spent time overseas. Tim Ream's still on the U.S. national team, and he's on the Olympic team this year. And Jeff Sargent's family is a big name right now in the soccer world. His family was a Florissant family, and you go on forever. And Jeff could sit here with me and 20 other guys, and we'd go on for days of every single player in North County. And even the Soccer Hall of Fame, there's so many representatives in the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame that are Florissant guys. The Egan family, they had a crew of guys that were the professional players, and I got a picture on the wall at Hankey's of a group hanging out with Pele. It's at that Pele visited Coke Park, had a game with a bunch of guys at Coke Park, and that picture's hanging on the wall, and the Egan family's there, and a lot of other great guys. But the CYC world started that connection. I have a funny joke when I talk to people, my comment, and I laugh because I say it all the time, and it's oh, I played soccer with him growing up. How do you know that guy? Well, I played soccer with him.
Yeah.
You said earlier.
And people
That's your
go,
standard answer.
my staff and my wife, they go, oh, yeah, he played soccer with that guy. And it really is.
All started with soccer.
But it's all true. I did play somewhere in the, could have been in Dellwood Soccer Indoor Arena when we got older, or was at Sacred Heart Field at St. Sabina. We were together. And there's been a lot of reunion and alumni games with, well, not only in Jeff, but it started at St. Sabina and St. Norbert's had an alumni game every year for years. Yeah. And we would bring in all these guys that played, and it was by church still. So even I played alumni games for Sacred Heart probably for 10 or 12 years at Norbert's and St. Sabina. So it's great. And it's great to see everybody come back. It's great to see everybody again. And the world's strong. The soccer world is strong, and it's built huge friendships for a lot of people. So
Jeff texted, if I can just ready for this. Mike Sorber, Steve Petcher, Mark and Scott, Kirk Mosier, all three of them, John and Tommy Hayes, Jeff and Brad Davis, Don Ebert, Perry Vanderbeck, Craig Frederking, Tim Ream's dad, Scott, Josh Sargent's dad, Jeff. And then the coaches, let's not forget, even Pete Sorber, Tim Rooney, you mentioned, Bill Beecher, Becker, is that how you say it? Becher. Vince Drake, Don Dallas, John Mormon, Greg, we could go on and on. Like, we're so proud. And Jeff texted that Dave Lang, who wrote the book Soccer Made in St. Louis, he has just shared that soccer game sign up on social media too.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's going to be so great.
It's going to be a great day.
Yeah, there's still a lot of local guys that are coaching NAMDA. Jerry DeSalle was there. You have
Kalish brothers.
Yeah, the Kalish brothers are still in the neighborhood. You have just even the older guys and I say this in a nice way, a lot of dads donated their time to be the coach, and they're not getting the recognition that because they're not that well-known guy, but they spent a lot of time. There's a lot of volunteer work that put into those games that's really important to the whole tie of how it was built.
I played at Incarnate Word for Mr. Lord and Mr. Luna.
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, coaches can have an effect on players in 1 year more than people can have in a lifetime, and our roots, and it's what this guy's doing too.
Let's talk about this, Andrew. Let's talk about the new Empower Soccer here in North County, and you've got over 600 kids that are playing. It's awesome. You're using Coke Park right now. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, we have a program called Empower Soccer, and I think as a Brit, I've been here 25 years, and I always get reminded of the time the USA beat England. They had a lot of St. Louisans on the team at that time. But, I think in my time I've been here, I mean, when I first got here, there was a fairly strong CYC. But really over the last 20 years, we've seen soccer diminish greatly in this community. We've seen, the demise of FAA. We've seen the restructuring of CYC. We really don't have a select club here anymore, and we've lost the indoor facility at Jamestown. So, back in the day, I think Corey League and Weed Hop, which is now Florissant Area Athletic Association, was like a hot spot, and Jamestown or whatever the indoor facility was another hot spot. And what you've seen is really a whole new group of people that have moved into Florissant that have never played soccer. I mean, our challenge with our program is particularly that we don't have families that have ever watched a soccer game, that don't even know what a throw-in or a corner is. And so just the challenge of educating folks. But basically 3 years ago, we decided to start our own program. We had 75 kids. At this point, we have almost 600 kids signed up for fall this year, all the way through 6th grade. And in the spring, we're going to be expanding to doing some select teams based out of North County. And then we're also starting a futsal league, a winter league for indoor, for all ages. And we're going to get some of the adults coming back here as well. So, and I think it's a unique challenge, but we have got a lot of folks that have stepped up. We're working with MISA to train our coaches properly so we can actually teach the right way. And so we have a standard in terms of how we teach. But we're really appreciative of Coke Park and using that. And I've driven by it many times when it's dark. If you drive past there Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and all day Saturday, you'll see hundreds of kids out there now between now and November. So that's the program that we have in partnership with the city.
I'll tell you, I do drive by, stop by. It's just amazing to see all those kids out there playing. I mean, it really is, at all levels. I mean, you got kids that are beginners all the way up to really experienced players, and you do a great job of mingling all those kids. And honestly, you got so many great coaches out there, great volunteers, and the program is just taking off.
Yeah, and I think, ultimately we all realize the benefit of coaches and the influence they have on our kids. And the older we get, the more we complain about kids behaving themselves. Well, this is a way to engage kids, to give them teach them how to be on a team. There's actually kids that have coaches as role models because they don't have that role model at home. And so we're dealing with kids that are, some of them are greatly underserved, some of them are families in transition. So this is an important event in their life, and gives them some stability. So I think it's not just the soccer, it's the whole benefit of playing soccer in a team with a diverse group of people, and also having something structured in their life that they enjoy. So it's important beyond just soccer.
Grassroots, Mayor. And they give scholarships, right? You want to explain a little bit? Because the T-shirt sales we'll be doing at the event, all the proceeds, we need to mention that we're sponsored by Bomarito Automotive Group as well. They're helping us get the T-shirts, and his kids will be selling them so that all the proceeds from these T-shirts will go to the program that you do with the scholarships, if you want to explain.
Yeah, we've had over 97 so far apply for scholarships, and we do vet. We work with our other programs. Empower North County isn't just a soccer program. We have other programs that work with social workers in schools. So they apply, there's a process of application. We vet those applications, but then also either give a partial scholarship or a full scholarship. In some cases, we just give a free jersey to help with some of the families. So it builds up in terms of income. So we're very grateful for any money that we receive for scholarships.
So Empower Soccer is a not-for-profit?
It's a non-profit, we're a 501c3.
So if people are interested, because soccer is so exciting here in North County, that they wanted to donate to Empower Soccer, how can they do that?
Yeah, the best, and hopefully we can find a way to put a graphic in here, but it's www.empower, that's with an E, EMPOWER, NOCO, NOCO.org/donation. And you'll probably see us at Fall Festival too, selling T-shirts that say, I Heart NOCO.
Yeah.
Those are T-shirts, the full proceeds of those go to Empower North County.
Very good. Well, I can only tell you guys how much I appreciate what you guys are doing for our community. First of all, this event that we're going to have on September 22nd, I think is going to be absolutely wonderful. It'll be well attended, and I think it's just bringing people back here to North County, and so we're so excited. Empower's done such a great job. Mark, you've done just an unbelievable job with your businesses here in the city of Florissant. You continue to make Florissant grow. So I certainly do appreciate everybody's work and what they do for our community. So thank you. So what else do we want to talk about?
First of all, huge shout out to Mark, who stepped right up, printed the flyers. If you want to get a flyer, just give us a comment on the Facebook page to tangibly, and like we did old school back in the day, and hang it up. And also, I want to make sure we mention that if with all the soccer families, Jeff Petrusso's kids and everyone I know, you have all these turnover of cleats that are gently used. Yeah. If you bring them to the event on September 22nd, we're going to collect them and hand them out to these kids. Great. Gently used, okay? We don't, So it's the word. It's right there in the word. It's empowering kids and families to do things they may not otherwise have been able to do. It's classic, the good stuff. It just is, and it's right here in North County.
Absolutely, that's what we love.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for what you're doing. I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great day. Please come out. The mass starts at noon?
It does, and it's free, by the way, you guys. It's completely free. You can buy a T-shirt. In fact, we hope you do.
Yes.
But we really would love to see you to start out at noon. The mass, we're hoping to fill that church. I'm telling you right now, everyone's invited. You don't have to be Catholic, all walks of faith, and it's going to kind of just like be the beginning of what's going to be a fabulous day, and then we move from 1 to 5 over to Jagan Rec Center grounds.
Great. It's going to be a great, exciting day, so make sure everybody comes out. This has been another edition of the Marriage Podcast Show. We are Florissant Strong.